there guys, gals, and non-binary pals, GM Potter here. Welcome to my channel where I talk about books and bookish things. I upload on Tuesdays and Thursdays at noon Central Time. I am an independent author, an avid reader, and a cat mom of 3. And today I have my little green notebook, and I also have the bingo card, which I'll put up in just a minute as we go over the ones that I have full bingos on. And that means we are doing a hardest reading challenge you'll ever do, part 2, update. Let's get into it. Alrighty, so starting in with the first one, we have the series Staircase, which, if you remember from last time and all the other times before, I have the 100s, the 200s, the 300s, 400s, and the 500s, but I still need the 6 and 700s. So, I'm still 2 away from that one. I still haven't started as many books as you can read in 24 hours. That was kind of my plan for New Year's Eve into New Year's Day. I was going to stay up all night reading. Because I thought that would be a fun way to bring in the new year. And then I have Series Stairway, which I am still 1 book away from. I still need Thief of Night, and then I need either 2016 and 2017 or 2016 and 2026. You can see what I'm trying to say. I either need these two or this one and this one to get my last 10 years challenge. And then we have all the adaptations, which I do have a bingo on. Modern retelling of a classic, must be a book. Emma of 83rd Street. Musical, Wizard of Oz. Graphic novel, must be a book. I have a graphic novel copy of Emma that I reread because I love Emma. Play, I found on YouTube the version of Hamlet with Andrew Scott. I was going to do Much Ado About Nothing with David Tennant and Catherine Tate, but I couldn't find that one. But I did find the Andrew Scott Hamlet, and I was very pleased with it. I highly recommend it. TV show, I watched the Pride and Prejudice miniseries from 1995. Web series, I reread Lore Olympus. Animation, I watched the Disney Hercules. And then movie, Practical Magic, which is based on the book by Alice Hoffman. And then I have another one, which is disability representation. I have Tourist Season for Alzheimer's, Dark Rapture for PTSD, Not My Type for a wheelchair user, Love Flushed for a Crohn's patient, and then Darn It All for limb difference and anxiety. So I actually have 6 disabilities on there. And then for Heritage Months, I just need Arab and AAPI, and then I've got that one squared away. Translation, I've still only got 2. I've got The Bus Driver Who Wanted to Be God, translated from Hebrew, and Jawbone, translated from Spanish. I have a couple Japanese books that I'm planning on reading, a horror and like a cozy mystery, which I will get to when I get to. Around the World, which I do have. I don't have the bonus points on it because the bonus point is Antarctica, but I do have North America, I have The Bewitching, which takes place in Mexico and the United States. South America, I have Jawbone, which takes place in Ecuador. Dream Count for Africa, it takes place in the United States and Nigeria, so I'm focused on the Nigerian part of that. Europe, I did The Book Swap, which takes place in the UK. Asia, A Man and His Cat, which takes place in Japan. Australia is Love Flushed, and I don't have Antarctica, but that's for bonus points. So then Even Bigger Rainbow, I have all of them. And you'll probably say when you get to the December video for Mansfield Park, that one's not gold. Well, I listened to it as an audiobook this year. And the audiobook version that I listened to has a gold cover. So, for Even Bigger Rainbow, I have Red, A Dowry of Blood, Orange, Free People's Village, Yellow, Love Her or Lose Her, Green, The Plus One, Teal for Mercy, Light Blue, All Boys Aren't Blue, Blue, Picture Perfect, Purple, Fix Her Up, Pink, Tools of Engagement, Black, Eyes on Me, White, Satyr, Gold/Silver, I have Mansfield Park, and then More Than 7 Colors, I have The Truth According to Ember. And then Spooky Creatures, I've made a little bit of progress on this one. I have Vampire, A Dowry of Blood, Shifter, Naughty Nice, and Holiday Lights, Magic User Entanglement and the Entanglement of Rival Wizards. Zombie, What Moves the Dead, and other is Satyr. Then I have the Avatar Challenge, or rather, Become the Avatar, which I have here. I have Water, The Bluest Eye, Earth, The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet, Fire, Dark Rapture, and Air, Darn It All. Animals Challenge, I have made a little progress on that one. I just had House Pets for A Man and His Cat Volume 2, and now I have The Nightmare Before Christmas with Reindeer for farm animals, because they are farm animals in certain parts of the world. They're not wild animals in certain parts of the... Well, they are wild animals too, but they're also farm animals. And then the Big Queer Alphabet, I only need intersex and non-binary. And then BIPOC authors, I have 6 of the 10. So I have Percival Everett, Francisco Guerra, Umi Sakurai, Toni Morrison, Anna Gide, and Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. New releases, I have July, August, September, October, and November. Nonfiction challenge, I have 4 of 5. I just picked up a nonfiction book from my local library. It's about the Regency era as a history book. So that'll give me Rich Bitch, 4,000 Weeks, A Diary of a Young Girl, Anne Frank, and Irresistible Blurbs, and then the Regency years is the one I'm starting reading today. I haven't finished Q's recommendations, but I have picked a book for the Any TikTok reel or short, which is Wooing the Witch Queen, which is sitting on my bedside table for me to read as my bedtime book. And then subgenres, I do have that one. So subgenres, the main genre I did was romance, and I did a horror romance in A Dowry of Blood, contemporary romance in People Watching, poetry romance, All Things Considered, fantasy romance, Hazelthorne, literary romance, Mansfield Park, and LGBTQIA+ romance with Nightmare Before Christmas. And then, as someone so politely pointed out, I actually need 7 total for award season. I even have that in my notes. I just missed it. So I have Dream Count added on. It's another nominee. So I only need 2 more, because that gives me 5 for award season. And then this chaotic couple of pages, plus all of these post-it notes, are my TBR challenge that I'm doing. I'm doing Roll for Reads, a D&D inspired TBR game. My class is Druid. I'm nature focused, and any book I read that has a forest setting gets me an extra 1,000 XP, which actually I should have an extra 2,000 XP because I did Don't Let the Forest In has a forest setting. So I finished my November TBR challenge for this one, and that was 73,500 XP. And then I've got December rolled, and then I got January rolled as well. So we'll see on those. But the goal is to get to 355,000 XP. So I am, let's see, I'm about 20% of the way. So I really need to kick it into high gear. And this one has the opportunity to do side quests. So anytime I roll something that has a side quest opportunity, I take the side quest and I keep doing side quests and keep stacking side quests until I get to one that doesn't have a side quest. So that's how I've gotten as far as I have, but yeah, I'm having fun with that. And then I've made no progress on my quote. So I'm going to have to go through probably my Libby app and just search for the words in my quote and find which ones are there. I haven't done a readathon challenge yet. A to Z, I'm only missing G, O, Q, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. But I think that gives me over half the alphabet. So, because A through N, I've got A through M, A through N less G on this page, and then I've got P, R, S, T on the other page. So I'm over halfway through the alphabet. It's just getting a lot harder because I've used up all the easy words. And then my personal challenge is to read 150 books, and I'm currently at 61. So on January 7th, January 6th or 7th, will be the halfway point for this one because it runs July 7th through July 6th. So if I can get to 75 by the first week in January, I will be on track. Because, right? I'm doing that math right? Yeah. If I can get to 75 books finished for my personal challenge by January 6th or 7th, I will be halfway through the challenge. This is Loki. My camera cut out. I don't know why. But yeah, that is the hardest reading challenge you'll ever do. And I'm so glad you're here. Let me know how you're doing with your hardest reading challenge you'll ever do. I'd love to hear about your progress, or correct me if I've gotten things wrong, please. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.